This is the Maggie Show.
I think the difference between the age differences as you approach 40, there's a maturity level that you go in with a better understanding. Let's say in terms of acts of service and the 5 languages of love in general, you have a better understanding and you sort of need to discover your own. So in the whole journey of life, you start to know yourself better. You know your languages of love, you know how to do the love thing. When you're younger, obviously it's kind of a head over heels in love. So you go in and maybe you don't even seek the face of God. You don't pray about it.
But with 40, there is a lot of maturity. You tend to know yourself. You know your capacity. You know what you can do. You know what will work for you. You know what will not work.
When you turn 40, it's something about the light bulb comes on. For women, the light bulb comes on early for us, but we still be playing. But men, it takes a little bit longer for that light bulb to come on.
Those who are in their 40s and above, do you think they have a less tolerance? Do you feel like they want a finished product?
There's a difference. So I suppose you engage the other person much better because you're putting your all in it because you want to make it work. You're not there to play games.
Just because you're 40 don't mean you're mature. If you're 40 and above, it does not mean that you're mature. I have met men who was 50s and plus and was not mature at all. Met some that was 30s and was very mature. When you are in God, you can't date like the world.
No.
Why would you be in God and use Satan's strategies for you to get a soulmate or a helpmeet to help meet the need?
I mean, for someone that is 40 and is not married, it means they are doing something right. It's not all of the time that because someone is not married, they are always doing something wrong. No. If anybody is coming to join your life, like to come together with what you have right now that is working, then you should be like, you should raise your standard, you should do your interview very well. You should not lower the bar, rather you should actually optimize.
It's 3 essential functions of a rib, and one is protection, one is support, and the third one is respirations. We look at it like we're a rib, but there is 24 ribs in a body. You are a cage. It has a whole cage, rib part. So you support, you have the back, you are the backbone. That's the rib cage is part of the backbone. A cage is something that you imprison, you house. That means if you are protection, that you have the key. So why would you, if you are protection, you are to protect the vitality, his vital organs. That's what a rib cage does, is to protect the vital organs. So if I'm supposed to protect your heart, baby, why am I on the phone talking to somebody who's been divorced twice, who is bitter Barbara, and I'm telling her my business about you when I'm supposed to be your protection?
Let's talk about exes in your 40s and over.
In any move or situation that you do, it's coming back to what is God saying about, shall I go back to the situation? And even when you then do go back into the situation, the key message is not to bring back the past. You then let the past be bygones and then allow a new growth of like, this is the new platform we are rising from, and then just make new steps that are echoing the rekindled love.
It depends on who is the ex and what the ex was and why is the ex an ex, because sometimes the ex is an ex for a reason. There's a difference between a call and being chosen. And when you're chosen, you don't have a choice.
For Africans, it's a taboo. How dare she marry a guy so much younger, or even just a couple of years younger than her? But then if it's a guy, you flip it, it's all okay. Look at the French president, Macron. But she's a couple of years older than him. And I said, if that brother was in Africa, heck, he won't be a president. There's no way he would be a president. Africans be like, no, go sit down. Go sit down. How dare you marry a woman older than you? Talk to us about being president.
When it comes to maturity, it's really not about age, because we have some 20-year-old man and we have a 40-year-old boy. Right?
Come on.
Yeah, so when we equate it's really not about the age. So you check for character, you check for consistency, check for their value, right? Check their track record. What have they been doing? Because what people have been doing is what people keep doing.
There is nowhere or even entry into heaven. There's nowhere it says in the Word of God that after receiving Jesus Christ, that the next criteria to come into heaven is you needed to have been married on earth. Hell no.
Just because you're both in church don't mean you're equally yoked, because his assignment and your assignment could be two different assignments. And if you are the wrong rib in the right place, and then you're trying to connect with this and it's not yours to connect with, it will cause you a lot of pain, frustration, and heartache. So you must seek God, and especially if you have your own calling and your own assignment. Because God will assign you a destiny helper.
Just because you're 40 and over does not mean you need to rush into anything. Forget about the pressure, whether it's the internal pressure you put yourself under, and be like, well, everybody else is getting married, I'm not married. No. Well, let me ask you this: if everybody was jumping off the cliff, would you also be jumping off a cliff?